Hey guys, my name is Jeremy. I'm the creator of the independently animated series Bridgette and Christopher Reloaded. And this is my first long form YouTube video, and I realized that long form content is the way to go. So I'm gonna be putting more on this channel. I just wanted to give a name to the show because my page has my episodes, but I want to give people a bit more, understand why this show exists, who I am, and what really goes on behind it. I'm the writer, producer, director, and animator of Bridgette and Christopher Reloaded. This is a show that I make fully by myself, and I have 7 fully animated episodes, each between 15 to 22 minutes, give or take, and I've been making this show for a very long time. I've made my very first episode of this show in 2018, The X Factors, and I wanted to build a bit of a catalog before I say, hey, watch my show. Like I want to give people like, hey, here is something I'm building and here are the full episodes, and I want people to be immersed into the world. This idea has lived in my head for God knows how long because, see, Bridgette and Christopher as a concept, has lived in my mind since forever. And I remember being like 12 years old, Bridgette and Christopher. I don't know what it meant. I don't know why they were in my head, but I knew it was Bridgette, Christopher. And you can see behind me, I have a poster. It's a little cut off, but I'll show y'all a picture of the the poster. But but these characters have lived in my head forever. I knew growing up that I wanted to make Bridgette and Christopher exist. So what did I do? I did what any kid would do, and I opened up Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Paint, and I was drawing Bridgette and Christopher and their friends, and it looked like that. Yeah, what you saw right there is exactly how it looked. It wasn't the best, but I mean, I was able to take it from my mind, put it on something, right? Time went on, and then I remember learning how to use Adobe Animate officially in 2018. And I took a class back in high school, and I took it with this teacher, Miss Bailey. Shout out Miss Bailey, Miss Hannah Bailey. And she taught us how to use Adobe Animate. And I took what she gave us and ran with it. And ever since, I have just been crafting and building and working on Bridgette and Christopher. But what actually is Bridgette and Christopher? Well, Bridgette and Christopher Reloaded is about, clearly, Bridgette and Christopher. I think I've said that way too many times in the video. Take a shot every time I say it. But it's about how everyone is interconnected. Individualism really doesn't exist. Your actions always impact somebody. It's a drama and a very heavy character-driven show. It follows Bridgette and Christopher and their friends as they navigate through early adulthood. You have Bridgette and Christopher, they're dating. They believe that Bridgette thinks Christopher doesn't do enough. Christopher thinks Bridgette's a user. They kind of clash. Then the next set of friends, you have Erica and Ray. Erica's like, you know what? I don't know what I see in him anymore. He really doesn't do much around the house. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't really make money. So I don't know what I'm doing with him. So Erica's kind of like bored with Ray. And Ray thinks, Erica's really, she's really cool. She's really, she's really attractive. I really like her a lot. I really hope she's not losing interest in me. Poor Ray, like he's in for a treat. And then you have the last couple, Tori and Brandon. See, Tori is the type of girlfriend who will start an argument with you because she's bored and that she wants attention. But give her some stuff to do, you know what I mean? And Brandon, he is a first-gen Mexican-American character. He's very proud of his roots. He dates Tori, and as much as he loves Tori, she does get on his nerves. So all of this is interconnected. Like, they all know each other. Bridgette and Christopher, they're dating. Erica and Ray's dating. Tori and Brandon's dating. But then Bridgette and Erica are best friends. Ray, Christopher, and Brandon are, good friends. Tori is Erica's sister, so she's by default Bridgette's friend because Erica and Bridgette are really close. So they're all interconnected. And it's messy, it's layered, a lot of lore, and I don't really want to get into the lore of this video. I can make another video about that. I just want to give people an introduction about who I am and what the show is about. But think about a messy indie animated drama that surrounds adulthood, navigating relationships, life, jobs, betrayal, secrets. Because as each episode goes on, the betrayal and the heartbreak kind of gets a little deeper and deeper. And there's twists and turns too, because we have new characters that enter the drama. So think about it. Think Bridgette and Christopher is about the most dysfunctional friend group that you will ever meet. When I say dysfunction, I mean these people, they don't need relationships, they need therapy. And I also want to add, like, I use a lot of drama and comedy, but this is a show where, like, you have to start from the beginning, and each episode, is a continuation of the last. So don't get it twisted. This show, you just can't click on episode 6 and be like, what's going on? Sorry, the way I write, you gotta start from the beginning because each is a continuation. And I think that's important for storytelling nowadays. I made this show not just because it's been living in my mind since I was 12 years old, but because I wanted to discuss some really important topics. The importance of telling the truth, or the importance of being honest with your friends, your partner, knowing that you can't keep secrets inside because they end up hurting the ones you love the most. And that's the real theme I'm trying to keep with this show, or that I am keeping with this show. It's the importance of always being truthful. Now, yes, the show has lived in my mind forever, and you don't know unless you just go for it. Shoot for the stars. Closed mouths don't get fed. So why not see if there's an audience out there who may enjoy this series? It's all independent by me. I've made 7 full episodes. Episode 1 is 14 minutes, episode 2 is 12, 3 is 20, 4 is 17, 5 is 28, episode 6 is 24, and episode 7 is 29. And all those, every last frame, every last animation was done so by me, and I'm really proud of how it's turning out, and I can only just get better and better. And I know this show, the characters aren't always likable. The characters aren't always going to be the ones that you root for. Everyone in this show is flawed. Every last person in this show is flawed. Very flawed. And that's important because as human beings, we're all flawed. No one's perfect. You're not going to have the perfect protagonist. You don't have the perfect antagonist. These people, some of them have their good days, some of them have their down days. And it's just how people live. This group of friends and how they live. I'm hoping to keep this straight and succinct, but it's a character-driven drama. It surrounds a group of friends in their mid-20s. In every episode is just more secrets, betrayal, lies. Episode 1 starts off real PG. I wrote it at 18 years old, trying to keep it tame, nothing too crazy, because I was still trying to find my voice. And as I grew older with the show, so did the episodes. I got a bit more mature. So things definitely changed a lot, and I'm very proud of the continuity of it. But, I want to be able to just sit down and hunker in on this show. I plan to deliver 14 fully animated episodes of this show because it's my show. I have no big corporate budget or anyone telling me what the heck to do, so I can do whatever the hell I want. Yeah. And as you can see, I don't know if y'all can tell, but in my poster, I have the whole entire episode list laid out. Episode 1 through 14, 1 through 7 are animated. You can watch them right now. And I'm currently making the 8th one. So on this page, I'll be giving updates about episode 8. And then episodes 9 through 14, they're fully written, but I gotta, get some in a good spot with episode 8 before I can really start thinking about getting the crew together for episodes 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I don't know why I said all that. I could have just said 9 through 14, whatever. So with that being said, and also I work a full-time job. A little bit more about me is that my day job is I'm a broadcast journalist. So I'm not going to say where. If you find out, you find out. But I've been doing this type of work for 4 years. But yeah, I went to Georgia State, got me a degree in journalism, and I got a news job. I'm on my 2nd news job. I'm a Georgian, Atlantean, so proud of my roots. Now I'm not in the South, and there is a foot of snow outside. Yeah, I live in Ohio. Crazy how I ended up here, but I always knew I wanted to be a storyteller. I knew I always wanted to be a writer. I knew I always wanted to write something and make people think and feel something. So that's why Bridgette and Christopher is also very important to me. Just my love for storytelling, my love for telling things that really wouldn't have such a platform. People who need a voice, people who want to be able to relate. And I love being able to make people relate and hear and understand. And also, I love to entertain. I mean, I love the fact that Bridgette and Christopher makes people feel and entertains people. I've rambled enough. Hopefully this was a good enough introductory video about who I am. I'm going to try to do weekly uploads with long form content. On top of my animating, on top of animating a show and my full-time job. But yes, make sure you follow my handle, BCR Animations. I am here on YouTube, and I'm also subscribed to my channel. Follow me on TikTok at BCR Animations, and same with Instagram at BCR Animations. I'm trying, shoot for the stars. Bridgette and Christopher have 7 full-length episodes, so if you need a new show to binge while you're looking for more content, give my show a chance. But I'll see you on the next one. All right.